So what's good, TMG fam? It's your boy Ellen. I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute, man. And we made it Friday. Some of y'all might be already out. Y'all beat me there, but don't worry. I'll be there soon. You know what I mean? Headed straight to go get me something nice in a minute. But the next video we getting into, man, is the 20 things that will make you say wow. Part 2. All right. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button and join the fam. Let's go.
All you can do is look at a video and just say, wow. There are no other words left at that point. What you're seeing is just too wow. So get ready to say wow over and over again as you watch this video. From the gross piece of human surgery to the helicopter on Mars, here's 20 things that'll make you say wow too. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Number 19. Mars helicopter first flight. The Ingenuity Mars helicopter is a technological demonstration that will test powered, controlled flight for the first time on another planet. It rode shotgun with the Perseverance rover to Mars. When the rover arrived at a suitable airfield, it released Ingenuity to the surface to conduct a series of test flights over a 30-day testing period on Mars. After 3 successful flights, the helicopter completed its technical demonstration. On April 19th, 2021, Ingenuity lifted off, rose to a height of roughly 10 feet, hovered momentarily in the air, executed a spin, and finally landed. It was a watershed moment. The first powered, controlled flight in the thin atmosphere on Mars, and the first of its kind on any planet other than Earth. Following that, the helicopter successfully completed many more testing flights of increasing distance and height. After completing its technology demonstration, Ingenuity will go on to a new operations demonstration phase to see how future rovers and airborne explorers can collaborate. The Sikorsky R-4 was the first helicopter to achieve full production in 1942. During World War II, Nazi Germany deployed helicopters for observation, transport, and medical evacuation in small quantities. Fixed-wing aircraft took decades to build, reliable helicopters capable of steady hover flight. This is owing to the fact that fixed-wing aircraft have greater engine power density requirements. Development of helicopters was aided by advancements in fuels and engines in the first half of the 20th century. In the second part of the 20th century, the availability of lightweight turboshaft engines led to the creation of larger, faster, and higher performance helicopters. While piston engines are still used in smaller and less-priced helicopters, turboshaft engines are now the predominant motor for helicopters. Number 8.
Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. When they finally are able to do a live feed, they maybe already are, but when they're able to do a live feed to where you could just turn on YouTube and watch it, oh, I'm hooked. I'm there. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be able to tear me away from that. I just think that'll be super dope to be able to watch that in real time as it's doing its job.
18. Weird weather glitch. Have you ever imagined giving a weather forecast at a carnival? When her weather graphics glitched in the middle of her prediction one night, Fox 9 meteorologist Jennifer McDermott had an idea. As she went across the screen, the bug caused McDermott to multiply, giving her the look of an old-school screensaver. That's interesting.
You know how many people who probably was watching this might have been like, how something? Bro, they was having a trippy moment. Imagine sitting there and this all of a sudden, and you watching by yourself and you just start looking around. Is this something wrong with me? Am I seeing multiples of her? Yo, that would mess somebody up.
exactly's going on? As the pictures swarmed around her, McDermott remarked, "I don't really know what's going on." McDermott strolled across the screen at one point, producing her own train of McDermotts behind her. "It made my head hurt. There are too many of me. I can't take 10 of us, much alone myself." McDermott burst out laughing. While fighting through her laughter, McDermott used all of her resolve to finish her forecast. "Whatever button you pushed, don't do it again," Fox 9 anchor Randy Meyer remarked. "A glitch is a system issue that occurs for a brief period of time, such as a transitory malfunction, and is difficult to diagnose. The word is particularly popular in the computing and electronic sectors, as well as in circuit bending and among video game players. Glitchiness occurs in many sorts of systems, including human organizations and nature." Number 17. Cracking like ice. Have you ever been curious about the sound of ice? It seems to sound like a ray gun from an old sci-fi film. Martin Ange, a mathematician and author, enjoys testing himself by wild skating in Sweden. A skater does this by seeking for the thinnest, cleanest black ice possible, which is why it makes those strange laser-like sounds as they speed by. It's really the sound of ice shattering when he rides over it. A thin layer of glazing ice over a surface, especially on roadways, is known as black ice, sometimes known as transparent ice.
I can never get used to that sound.
The ice itself is not black, but rather translucent, allowing visibility of the typically dark road below. Because there are usually few ice particles, snow, or sleet around black ice, parts of the ice are sometimes virtually undetectable to cars or anyone walking on it. As a result of the sudden loss of traction, there is a danger of sliding and consequent accident. The National Weather Service.
Did y'all see him bouncing on it? Like, somebody needs to interview and ask them, yo, how many times have you fell in? I need to know. The world needs to know.
Traction, there is a danger of sliding and consequent accident. The National Weather Service defines black ice in the United States as patchy ice on highways or other transportation surfaces that is difficult to see. It's most common in the early morning hours, especially when snow melts on the roads and has time to refreeze overnight as temperatures dip below freezing. When roads are slippery after rain and temps dip below freezing overnight, black ice can develop. Number 16. Rainbow lightning. A beautiful bolt of lightning hitting close to a rainbow proved to be a bright spot for locals in Idaho who were hampered by a rainstorm. Folks in Idaho were stunned by an unexpected meteorological phenomena. A huge bolt of lightning occurred close to a rainbow. A snapshot taken at the time shows a bolt of lightning striking the Lewiston-Clarkson Valley. There have been a succession of thunderstorms in the area, which are likely to last. The image was described as Mother Nature's a wonder and beautiful and terrifying by social media users. A similar incident occurred in Oklahoma. Storm chaser Jake Heitman tells Storyful that he was there just outside of Tulsa to record the stunning scene. "I punched through the storm and found this gorgeous rainbow on the other side," Heitman explained. A rainbow is veiled by the dusk sky as lightning bolts crackle overhead in footage from the event. At least 3 times in the video, lightning can be seen. Heitman claimed the odd photo was recorded barely seconds after he started recording. "I put up my camera and a gorgeous spider bolt of lightning extended across the sky just 30 seconds after I started recording," he added. The fact that the lightning appeared to strike from the center of the rainbow astounded him the most. "I've never seen anything like this before. A rainbow with lightning striking right in the middle. It doesn't get much better," Heitman stated. Number 15. Incredible Mercedes-Benz Stadium roof. It's the most costly building in Georgia's trademark architectural style. However, within less than a week until the big game, it was unclear if Mercedes-Benz Stadium's roof...
I think I'm gonna stomach it this year. And the reason why I say stomach it, because I'm not a Falcons fan. So, you know what I mean? Maybe if they play the Titans, I can go see them. But I want to go to this stadium, though. This stadium is just next level.
Would be open or closed. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell stated, "We love the idea of being able to show off the technology of the roof that exists here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium." The Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, is a multi-purpose stadium. It was built to replace the Georgia Dome in August 2017 and is home to the Atlanta Falcons of the National Football League and Atlanta United FC of Major League Soccer. The stadium is owned by Georgia's state government through the Georgia World Congress Center Authority and administered by AMB Group, the Falcons in Atlanta United's parent company. The overall cost of construction was projected at US $1.6 billion in June 2016. Despite the retractable roof technology being unfinished at the time, the stadium formally opened on August 26, 2017, with the Falcons' preseason game versus the Arizona Cardinals. Following its completion, several events that were formerly hosted in the Georgia Dome were relocated to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, including the SEC Football Championship game and the Peach Bowl. It hosted the College Football Playoff National Championship and the Major League Soccer Cup in 2018. Number 14. Earthquake Island, ZALZALA Co. Satellite photographs of the enigmatic island that sprang out of the water indicate that it is spherical, cracked, and incredibly flat, like a mud pile. After a severe 7.8 magnitude earthquake occurred 145 miles southeast of Dalbandin in Pakistan's quake-prone Baluchistan area, the island of ZALZALA Co appeared. Despite hazardous combustible gas produced from its crevices, it has become an attraction for tourists and people who have visited the region. The surface is made up of dirt, sand, and rock, and is covered in sea animals such as dead fish. NASA's Earth Observing 1 and Landsat 8 satellites captured the newest photographs just days after the island appeared. The lighter green and brown hues in the water indicate a shallow bottom or suspended material, according to marine geologist Asif Ainam of Pakistan's National Institute of Oceanography. The sea depth around the new island is around 15 to 20 meters. The floor in that area is generally flat, Mr. Ainam explained, but the gradient in this area changes quite abruptly. The aerial view shows a close-up of the landform, which is believed to be 75 to 90 meters wide and 15 to 20 meters above the sea line. Visitors have heard hissing noises from the releasing poisonous gas and have seen dead fish floating on the surface of the waterways surrounding the island. Number 13. Mexico Cave. Surprisingly old stone points discovered in a Mexican cave are the latest in a long line of fascinating discoveries that have raised doubts about when people first arrived in the Americas. For the most of the 20th century, archaeologists concluded that humans who crossed the Beringia land bridge from Siberia to North America only moved farther into the continent after ice sheets receded some 13,000 years ago. Researchers began unearthing ancient sites across the Americas a few days ago, pushing back the arrival of the earliest Americans by a few thousand years. According to the authors of a recent research conducted at Mexico's Chiquihuite Cave, human history in the Americas might be twice as long. The new article implies that people lived in central Mexico at least 26,500 years ago, according to Tripoli Ardeline, an archaeologist at the Autonomous University of Zacatecas, and his colleagues. Ardeline's findings were published in Nature with another research that looked at 42 known early human sites across North America, from the Bering Strait to Virginia. Data from those locations was used to recreate a far earlier peopling of the Americas, allowing scientists to envision not just when, but also how the first humans arrived in the New World and occupied it. The model includes a number of archaeological sites, notably Chiquihuite Cave, that are fascinating yet divisive, as experts argue on whether the sites genuinely show signs of human habitation. Number 12. Hot lava in a bucket. Geologists gather lava samples to better understand how volcanoes function and to forecast future eruptions.
That's the first time I noticed. Y'all see his face covered up? I never noticed that. It's like the second or third time I've seen this clip, but I never noticed that he has whatever that is over his face like that.
The samples to better understand how volcanoes function and to forecast future eruptions. Geologists search for regions where lava is slowly spreading on the surface of Kilauea, an active volcano in Hawaii. They use a pickaxe to remove the lava into a pail of water as they approach upwind, wearing safety masks, gloves, and clothes. The temperature of the lava can reach 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The geologists package the sample.
Can't even grab the handle with his hand, is boiling so much.
To take to their labs once the lava cools and hardens in the ocean. When lava is ejected from the bowels of a terrestrial planet such as Earth or a moon onto its surface, it is called magma. Lava can erupt from a volcano or a crack in the crust on land or undersea, and at temperatures ranging from 800 to 1,200 degrees Celsius. During an effusive eruption, lava flows are an outpouring of lava. In contrast to lava flows, explosive eruptions create tephra, which is a combination of volcanic ash and other pieces. Although most molten lava has a viscosity comparable to ketchup, it may flow long distances before cooling and solidifying, because lava exposed to air forms a thick crust that insulates the remaining liquid lava, keeping it hot and inviscid enough to flow. Number 11.
You better not slip, trip, or fall, or it's over for you.
Barcode boarding. Electronicos Fantasticos, a Tokyo-based band, is recognized for upcycling outdated electronic equipment, such as TVs, fans, and even a barcode scanner, into musical instruments. They put their innovative barcode board, which is made up of a massive barcode reader and a skateboard with a connected scanner, to the test. According to his YouTube profile, the signal is transmitted wirelessly to the speaker instead of a cash register. Even if you've never ridden a skateboard before, the sound is incredible. Norman Joseph Woodland and Bernard Silver devised the barcode, which was patented in the United States in 1951. Morse code was used as the basis for the idea, which was then expanded to thin and thick bars. However, it took more than 2 decades for this idea to become economically viable. British Railways had previously devised a barcode reading system capable of accurately scanning rolling stock traveling at 100 miles per hour, according to the December 1962 issue of the UK journal Modern Railways, pages 387 to 389. When barcodes were first utilized to automate supermarket checkout systems, they proved economically successful. George Laurer's barcode design was adopted by the Uniform Grocery Product Code Council in 1973. The vertical barcode devised by Laurer printed better than Woodland and Silver's circular barcode. Their use had moved to a variety of different jobs that are together known as automated identification and data collection in.
Looking at them groceries, the only thing I can think of in my mind is, I wonder how much it cost back then. Can we go back to those prices?
June 1974, in a Marsh supermarket in Troy, Ohio, a scanner produced by Photographic Sciences Corporation scanned the now ubiquitous Universal Product Code barcode on a bag of Wrigley's chewing gum. Number 10. Remove tick on human body. Everyone has a different way of getting rid of a tick, from smoking it to drowning it in petroleum jelly to painting it with nail polish, but that is not the way to go about it. All you need is a keen eye and a pair of pointed tweezers to properly remove a tick. Ticks are parasitic arachnids that belong to the parasitiform superorder of mites. Adult ticks range in.
Like at this point, I think ain't no way you not feel all those ticks and you just let them accumulate. No, I think y'all are putting them on people. Like, this is ridiculous.
Length from 3 to 5 millimeters, depending on their age, sex, species, and fullness. Ticks are parasitic insects that feed on the blood of mammals, birds, and occasionally reptiles and amphibians. Ticks are thought to have originated roughly 100 million years ago, while the earliest known tick fossils date from the Cretaceous era. Ticks are found all across the world, especially in hot, humid conditions. Ticks are divided into two families: Ixodidae, hard ticks, and Argosidae, soft ticks. Nuttallella is a tick genus native to southern Africa. It is the only member of the Nuttallellidae family and represents the oldest extant tick lineage. Adults have 8 legs and ovoid/pear-shaped bodies that become engorged with blood as they feed. Ticks use odor, body heat, moisture, and/or vibrations in the environment to find suitable hosts. Number 9. Starlings make bird shape. James Crombie captured this extraordinary starling murmuration in the shape of a bird in Lough Anilco, Westmeath, Ireland. The starling swarm, which consists of hundreds of birds swirling in the sky, may like a big bird, but it looks James many weeks to find the ideal place to film them. I generally work as a sports photographer, so I've got some free time to think about other things. They were forming as I could see. I kept returning the image to my mind. Reporters quoted James as saying, "Colin Hogg, a friend of mine who lives near the lake, told me last year that the starlings would make a fantastic photograph."
All I see is lots of poop. Lots of poop. Lot of mad people up under there if they go across land.
Then build their nests in the reeds around the lake, and they migrate every 4 or 5 days towards sunset, making shapes as they do so. When it comes to photographing starlings, James believes that timing is crucial, since they might leave the lake in a matter of days. You never know which way the murmurations will fly as they defend themselves against predators in the skies. On Tuesday, March 2nd, at 6 p.m., James captured the winning shot after shooting between 400 and 500 photographs. It was profitable. After weeks of uninteresting pictures, we were ecstatic to catch a distinctive form in the sky. The sky seemed literally alive, he continued. Number 8. Mount Washington wins. Mount Washington at 6,288.2 feet is the highest point in the northeastern United States and the most conspicuous mountain east of the Mississippi River. The weather on the mountain is often unpredictable. The Mount Washington Observatory recorded a wind speed of 231 miles per hour at the top on April 12, 1934, which was the world record from 1934 to 1996. Mount Washington continues to retain the record for greatest observed wind speed. Not caused by a tornado or tropical storm, the peak is found in Coos County, New Hampshire, in the presidential range of the White Mountains. The peak of the mountain lies in the township of Sergeant's Purchase, which is included in numerous unincorporated townships. While the White Mountain National Forest covers practically the whole mountain, Mount Washington State Park covers 60.3 acres surrounding and including the top. The Mount Washington Cog Railway ascends the mountain's western side, while the Mount Washington Auto Road ascends from the east. Hikers flock to the top, which is crossed by an Appalachian Trail. Glider flying, backcountry skiing, and yearly cycle and running competitions like the Auto Road Bicycle Hill Climb and Road Race are also popular hobbies. Number 7. Man discovers mysterious 19th century tunnel under his home. A guy in Illinois uncovered a 19th century tunnel beneath his property, leaving residents baffled as to its purpose. Gary Mackins of Alton, Illinois, first became aware of the unusual tunnel when his pavement began to slant. "We had an issue here at the sidewalk, and as we were digging and repacking the rock here, we discovered this tunnel," Mackins told reporters. Mackins was well versed in the home's history, which went back to the 1890s, when the brick roadway was built down in 1895, he believed the tunnel hole was concealed. According to Mackins, the tunnel might have fulfilled a variety of functions. It's unusual. We checked with the Landmark Historic Society and there are a few tunnels in the Alton region. Mackins added, it's been used as an ice house, root cellar, and a variety of other things. It could have been useful for the Underground Railroad, he said. Mackins, on the other hand, is certain that the tunnel was not built by a single person. Whatever they were building it for, it took a lot of guys and a lot of time, he said. You know, one guy didn't do this. Number 6. Royal Mail Drone Delivery. In a Royal Mail pilot, drones are being used to transport mail to a remote island as part of efforts to cut carbon emissions. The Orkney Islands, Kirkwall, and North Ronaldsay are now undergoing a 2-week experiment of scheduled autonomous flights. Ultra, a big twin-engine, UK-built unmanned aerial vehicle that can handle 100 kilograms of post of various shapes and sizes, similar to a regular delivery round, is carrying the mail. When letters and packages arrive on the island, which is located...
I told my pops about this. He was like, so? I'm retiring. Straight up. I was like, but he could care less at this point. He ready to retire, though. I just thought that was funny.
North of Norway's southern point, and has a population of roughly 70 people, they will be delivered by the local postman in the normal manner. The study, which is being conducted in collaboration with Wind Racers Ltd., is part of the Sustainable Aviation Test Environment (SATE) initiative at Kirkwall Airport. The trailing of drone technologies is just one of the ways we are supporting our postmen and postwomen to deliver an amazing service, while reducing our carbon emissions, said Nick Landon, Royal Mail's Chief Commercial Officer. If the technology is effective, Royal Mail will explore using it to assist postmen and women in delivering to very rural places and addresses across the UK. Number 5. Phenomenal Firefall. Yosemite National Park in California's Sierra Nevada mountains is known for its gigantic old sequoia trees and stunning rock formations such as El Capitan and Half Dome, Horsetail Fall, a seasonal waterfall that cascades down the eastern edge of El Capitan every winter, is the major attraction of the pristine preserve from mid to late February. The 1,500-foot tall waterfall regularly changes into a stunning natural firefall over the brief 2-week time frame. Many circumstances must be properly aligned for the natural occurrence to happen. For starters, there must be enough snow and warm enough temperatures for it to melt and generate a brief cascade. Horsetail Fall is limited to a trickle or may not occur at all during dry or severely cold years. Even a tiny haze can destroy the appearance of flames rolling down the cliffs. Therefore, the skies must be perfectly pure and cloudless. Most essential, the sun must strike the water at a specific angle to light up the upper half of the falls, giving it the unique deep orange glow of a lava flow. Even if all of the circumstances are satisfied, the spectacular display, which happens 5 to 15 minutes before sunset, only lasts a few minutes. Number 4. Unfreezing an RV water hose. After you've made the choice to buy an RV, you'll need to familiarize yourself with a lot of equipment. The RV water hose is one of such items of equipment. An RV water hose is a hose that connects your RV to a campground water tap. You should be able to recognize it since it appears like a standard garden hose. The RV water hose links the RV's municipal water hookup to the campsite faucet. This is where you screw the hose into place. After you've gotten to know your RV water hose, one of the first things you should learn is how to protect it from freezing. When you're traveling in an RV, the nights are likely to be quite cold. This isn't true at all times of the year, but it is something to think about if you intend on traveling throughout the fall and winter. You'll have significant problems if you don't keep the RV water hose from freezing. So how can you prevent a frozen RV water hose? You should insulate your RV's water hose to prevent it from freezing. Wrap it with hot tape to do this. Make sure the hose is completely covered to keep it warm. Keeping your faucet running will also prevent it from freezing. Because flowing water takes longer to freeze, having your faucet open means your hose will need to be frozen at a lower temperature. Number 3. Spiral Island. Spiral Island is a floating artificial island created by British artist Richard Soa in Mexico. It was devastated by Hurricane Emily in 2005. A successor to Joyxi Island had been accessible for visits since 2008, but has since closed when hurricane damage forced its removal. Spiral Island has been featured in a variety of newspapers and TV documentaries throughout the world, notably in Japan and South Korea, as well as in an episode of Ripley's Believe It or Not, and on MTV's Extreme Cribs in 2011. Richard Soa began construction on the first Spiral Island in a lagoon at Puerto Aventuras on Mexico's Caribbean coast south of Cancun in 1998. He supported a plywood and bamboo structure with sand and several plants, including mangroves, by filling nets with empty used plastic bottles. There was a 2-story home on the island, as well as a solar oven, a self-composting toilet, and 3 beaches. For the 66 by 50 foot 4 building, he utilized 250,000 bottles. Hurricane Emily devastated the island in 2005. Soa developed a substitute for Spiral Island in the Seas of Isla Mujeres, the island of women, located near Cancun in late 2007 and 2008. It began offering tours in August of 2008. Number 2. Plane takes off by itself. Have you ever noticed how wind creates vertical takeoff by accident? Because of the heavy wind, this plane was fastened with ropes but still managed to take off. This incident occurred in the Russian city of Galenzik. You may have seen military planes do vertical takeoffs, but it appears that it is not limited to high-end jets. That is why every plane is tethered to the ground, because winds of up to 20 ms should be enough to lift a tiny plane off the ground. Although the plane was tied down with ropes in the footage, this security precaution was insufficient to keep the jet safe. Was it a mistake made by someone? Shouldn't it have been properly secured? Or was it a strong gust of wind? Do you have any further examples of wind-induced vertical takeoffs? Number 1. The Ghost Forest. Up and down the mid-Atlantic coastline, bare trunks of dead coastal woods have been uncovered, devastated by rising waves. Scientists refer to the ghost forests as unsettling proof of among of the world's fastest rates of sea level rise. Forests offer habitat and defend against global warming, but they're disappearing due to land clearance, fires, disease, and invasive species throughout the world. Sea level rise, as seen by the ghost forests, might be another source of deforestation. Dead woods are becoming more widespread in some coastal regions, according to climate experts like Walker, a PhD candidate at Rutgers University who studies sea level rise. Salt supplied to the tree's roots by rising waves is the toxin that kills them. As sea levels rise, saltwater intrusion occurs further upstream, Walker explained. Communicating sea level rise to the public, she added, which I find difficult a lot of the time because of the visual impact of the dead trees. Scientists have been using dead tree stands as evidence of previous environmental turmoil for decades. Dead trees have disclosed the specifics of prehistoric variations in water levels when submerged in oceans and lakes. How many times did you say wow during our video? What's the most wow-worthy thing you've ever seen? Let us know in the comments below. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now. See you next time.
Yeah. Listen, man, I'm still fascinated by the dude that built his own island. Like, the entire time he was showing this video, because I've seen it before, was the trees being on there, and then just looking at how close it is to the water. Like, just say an alligator just by chance come through, or even that. you know what I mean, a hurricane or tornado. Like, that's what I be worried about for him. But you know what I mean? He seems to be happy. He seems to have everything covered, you know? And for somebody to build that like that, it takes time and precision. So I'm pretty sure he thought of everything. But I always think about that when I see that clip. Like, man, I hope he's safe out there. You know what I mean? Last time I think I thought about it, I was thinking about, you know, what if he needed like an ambulance or some medical help or something like that. So, but this was 20 things that will make you say wow, number 2. Y'all get at me and let me know what you think. And stick around and stay tuned. Till the next one, I'm gone. Peace.